So before getting started with Prosperity of Life, I was a finance manager in the mining industry and also a bank manager traveling all around Western Australia. It was crazy working the long hours, anything from 16 hours a day. I spent about 14 years not working anything less than a 16-hour day. I was building small companies or small corporations into these big companies, and with that comes a lot of responsibility and being available 24/7. There's no work-life balance, fight or flight every day. I had always wanted to be a business owner. My career was doing that for someone else and not really getting the rewards of that being your own. I didn't know what I could bring to the world. I didn't know what I could do or think of and create. I went looking when I had my daughter because I realised that there was just no ways that I would be able to keep going in that kind of an industry because someone else would be raising her, not myself. As I started going through the programs, I think one of the biggest things that hit me was a realisation that I had absolutely no self-worth. I have always seen myself as successful. I've always seen myself as someone to be able to touch something and it to turn to gold, and I have a lot of belief in my ability to make these things happen. But when I really stripped back the layers, I realised that when it came to building something for myself or things that I truly wanted, what Lorna wanted, there wasn't much self-belief there whatsoever. So as I went through the programs, I identified that I had a huge limiting belief in terms of my self-worth and my mindset and how I saw myself. So really stripping that back and realizing, well, why do I believe that I can create it for someone else or someone else is able to achieve all their goals, whereas for myself in my belly, I didn't really believe that I was worthy of doing that. Letting myself feel those emotions and then being able to let it go and to be able to then strip it back and start working on it. So one of the biggest things was that belief in, others in the community. The thing I'm proudest about is the way that I've been able to parent. Great tools and tips and tricks and ways to work on myself to be able to provide my daughter with that surety and security in life. Not only just from a financial aspect, I want her to grow up knowing that the sky is not the limit. I wish I had learned earlier. I now know when to say no. I have spent my life giving people every single piece of me and not asked for anything back. And that's really led me to a massive point of burnout. And that has not served me in any sense, to the point where at one point in my life, I actually went through a bit of a cancer scare. And that was huge for me. That was huge at such a young age to have to go through something like that. I look back on that now and see that that was all the mental and emotional and physical stress that I was putting on myself that created that. The most unexpected thing that's happened in my journey over the last period has certainly been about that law of attraction. Really getting clear on your goals and where you're wanting to go in the future and believing that they will happen. If you don't hit your goal in the time frame, is letting that go and just keep going after that goal. I recently went through my goal setting exercise from when I started the business and was absolutely gobsmacked when I almost ticked off about 8 out of the 12 things that I had initially written down on that list, even down to, the color of someone's eyes or a purchase that I'd made. Like, it was absolutely crazy. I was just so blown away, and I think that really a little bit of a fire up in my belly to really realize that things are materializing in my world that I'm looking for. I can see things that I have attracted into my life materializing now, and just this great upward trend of positivity and happiness that is in my life, and I just can't wait to see what the future holds.